Bill, I am struck by a couple of things. Number one, normally ahead of these kinds of meetings, there is an effort to lower expectations. If anything, we've seen the White House raise expectations. Why would Xi do anything, in your mind, to give Trump a win?
Because he's not doing well domestically with the folks. So 1.5 billion Chinese, no. And you know, if you notice, it wasn't well reported in America, but she fired about 7 generals last week, Chinese generals. That's not a good sign. He worried. And if you understand China, the 1.5 billion people need to eat. They don't have IRAs or gold cards. They can't refinance their mortgage. They got to get paid. And the Chinese consumer doesn't have enough money to buy enough stuff to keep the economy afloat. So they have to sell their stuff overseas. And America is far and away the biggest market. So Trump goes in there with an advantage. He knows that we, the United States, because of our consumer spending, which is still high, which is why the stock market is doing so well in the USA, we can outlast Xi. And all the other deals that Trump is making with Malaysia, Cambodia, Japan, all of that hurts China if China is an adversary.
Right, it boxes China.
So I think that I think President Trump goes in with a bigger, stronger hand, but he has to play that hand very cleverly.
I think your expertise as it relates to confronting evil is important, because Putin is on the cover. Putin worships Stalin and wants to remake the Soviet Union. Xi has that same kind of reverence for Mao, who is also on the cover. Mao formed what we now know to be Communist China in the late 1940s. It is Xi's desire to have Communist China not as an equal to the United States, but to surpass the United States and replace the United States as the dominant world power by 2049. It's the 100-year plan. So I ask you this. What has Xi done? Not what has he said, not what has his cronies said to you or to Scott Besson or anybody else. What has Xi done that shows you that he is willing to make a deal and, more importantly, stick to it?
He wants to keep his job.
But what's he done?
It's not like Mao Zedong. What has he done? Well, let me answer it in a passive way. The Chinese communists could have caused an immense amount of trouble during the Biden administration because Joe Biden was so weak. All right, they could have done military stuff. Biden would not have replied at all. And everybody knew that in Beijing. They knew that Biden was the weakest U.S. president in modern times. But the Chinese did not make a move as far as aggression militarily. They could have gone into Taiwan. They could have done a whole bunch of things they didn't do. Xi isn't trying to supersede Mao. He wants to be up there with Mao as one of the great Chinese leaders of all times. He knows he can't kill 20 million people, 20 million Chinese, which is what Mao did. And I don't think there's one Chinese in the country that understands that, because they're not told that or taught that. They don't know what Mao did, all right? It's not like Putin, who idolizes Stalin and who wants to put the Soviet Union back on the map. That's what Putin wants to do. Xi's not like that. He's much more realistic. He knows that the United States has a much more powerful economy. And he knows that he's not going to, in his lifetime, supersede the USA.
And I'll just go back to it. Actions speak louder than words. You often say, don't look at what Donald Trump is saying. Look at what Donald Trump is doing. And I'll ask you the same thing. What is Xi doing right now Okay, we see what he's doing. He's withholding rare earth minerals to try and cripple the U.S. militarily, still spying on the United States. His hackers are still infiltrating U.S. businesses and water supplies and power companies. We know all the bad things he's doing. He's cutting off any soybean purchases, which is crippling American farmers in Missouri and in Iowa. No surprise, they're states that are very Trump-friendly. What is he doing, though, to show America and the world that he is willing to be a partner, as you put it, for world peace and any other kind of deal, and then live up to that deal?
Well, he's basically sending signals that he's up for making a deal, which is the same signal I got in May when I was there. Now, he's not like Putin. See, Putin will just lie to your face, and then Trump thinks he's got it in his pocket, and then Putin won't do, he'll do the opposite. She's not like that.
How do we know that?
So I believe that just on history of how he got where he is, she is more diplomatic and more realistic than Putin. So let me just tell the NewsNation audience what is likely to happen on Thursday when these intense talks begin. China's probably going to give up its fentanyl precursor business. Doesn't need it. Doesn't need it, okay? They'll give Trump that. Then they'll come to some kind of tariff situation. They'll have this, they'll have that, reciprocal this, reciprocal that. Nobody will understand it, that kind of thing. And then they'll pose for pictures together and say, we're going to work together to tamp down all the violence in the world. Now, that's the most important thing. If China will pull away from Putin, because China has propped up Putin by buying Putin's oil. Already, I understand the Chinese have cut back buying Russian oil. They're not going to do it 100%, but they're sending signals.
Any chance you're misreading the signals, Bill?
Sure, absolutely. My sources are the best in the world, but the Chinese are so secretive, and they, nobody ever says a declarative sentence in the whole country. It's all this and that, and they smile, and sure. But I think that there's a better than even chance. Yeah. Okay. There's a better than even chance that Trump walks away. And one of the reasons, as you put it, Chinese were impressed with the Hamas thing. They're impressed with the strongman aspect of Donald Trump. While the liberals and Democratic Party in America despise Trump for being a strongman president. China respects that.
You say better than 50-50 chance on that. I've got 15 seconds. Better than 50-50 chance that Trump meets with Kim Jong-un, North Korean despot, before he comes home?
Doubt it.
Okay.
Trump wants to get out of there on Sunday, and I doubt whether the security in South Korea could provide safety for the North Korean dictator. They hate his guts.
Fair enough. Bill, always good to see you. Thank you. I would say to anybody who wants to understand both Putin, Xi, Mao, what's going on, confronting evil is still highly relevant. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.